Okay everyone, how's it going? This is me here, again, and this one's going to be a movie review, and it's going to be over Pacific Rim. Now, this movie kind of, from what I've seen and when I worked at a video store, it seems to kind of be mixed, I guess I should say. And it's sad, but at the same time I can also understand. I liked the movie. I thought it was a fun movie, and I think when it comes to stuff like Pacific Rim or Godzilla, you don't go in expecting a good movie. You expect a fun one. And that's kind of how it was with Jurassic World, but that was a whole nother video that I did. Go check that out. But I thought I would just take time and talk about it. Now, Pacific Rim is it's a monster movie. It's more of a mech versus monster movie. It's a fun one if you like those movies. I'd recommend watching it if you haven't yet. Or if you like Godzilla, go watch it. It's fun. It's if you've ever seen Honest Trailers, they kind of, at a point in it, they say a good little bit where it's like the worst, most best fun movie of the time, or the best, most worst fun movie of the time, or something along those lines. And either way, both of those kind of describe this, but it's a mech versus monster movie, and basically what's happened is monsters have come from another world, and they've invaded this one, and over time through the movie, as they describe events happening, and they kind of said over time monsters start coming more and more and more often. And by this time in the movie where the movie actually takes place, they're coming fairly frequently, and they don't have enough people to fight them. So, like, at the beginning of the movie, it shows this guy and his brother, and they have this mech, and it's called Gypsy Danger. And what they have, I think, it's called the Jaeger program. It's where pretty much two people pilot it, and it's kind of like the whole brain thing. It's like one person controls one side, the other person controls the other, or something like that. But I think in this, it's like, if they want to move the right hand, both people have to move the right hand, because the reason there's two people is one person can't control the Jaeger simulation, I guess is what I'll call it. It's been forever since I've seen the movie, and I don't remember exactly everything. But the main character and his brother, the main character's the younger brother. The older brother, spoilers, gets killed in the beginning. But if you haven't seen it yet, too bad. It's been a while. You should have at least heard about it or seen it by now. But basically, his brother's killed at the beginning. They're piloting Gypsy Danger, which is the main thing he pilots through the whole movie. And he pilots this thing back on his own, so he has potential. But after this, he kind of, I guess, retires, goes, and he's built. The human race is kind of like building this giant wall around areas that still have human population or whatever. And if you've seen Attack on Titan, it's kind of like that, except this wall can't stand up against the kaijus. And basically, by this time they've seen that the only way they could survive is with the Jaeger program, and pretty much what they do is the main guy goes and gets back the younger brother to be able to pilot Gypsy Danger, because he's basically the best there is, as how they put it. But he needs a co-pilot, and the co-pilot, after all of the basically, what it is his co-pilot is an adopted kid, and the adopted father's basically the one running the program, the higher up, and he doesn't want his daughter to be the co-pilot just because she's in danger or whatever. But through like all of like them demanding it, she ends up becoming the co-pilot of Gypsy Danger. Now, the main guy in it he basically piloted the machine on his own, but with side effects. Basically, he's dying or something like that, and he basically goes out in a blaze of glory, I think. Him and the son of another pilot. I don't remember which one it was that they piloted. But later on, the dad of another Jaeger ends up becoming the higher up, the one who basically commands the place, while the old commander basically goes back, gets in I'm gonna call it a mech, because that's basically what these are, and him and this kid basically go on a blaze of glory, taking out one of the main kaijus. And just basically, you don't really know much that goes on in between the beginning and end of this movie, because the middle of the movie is kind of some fighting here and there. Now, probably the coolest thing that I ever saw in this, which I also find the most hilarious thing, is that Gypsy Danger, the mech that the main character pilots, has like this sword, kind of like Optimus Prime, I guess you could say, from the Michael Bay movies. And for some reason, I don't know what it is, they're like, oh wait, we have a sword, let's use it. And they use this halfway through to take out this flying kaiju. And I'm just like, really? You could have used this earlier, but you use it now. To me, I thought the fight scenes were incredible, because there's a scene where they basically pick up like a train, or I think a bus, and they pretty much use it as a bag against another kaiju. And it's hilarious just to watch, because some of the scenes are just kind of... they're neat, but they make it so fun watching these, because, as I said earlier, this movie's not a great movie, but it is a fun mech versus kaiju movie. Because movies like this, as I said, they're never the best, but they're fun. But moving on, I kind of got sidetracked there. Basically, by the end of this, the only way they can realize that to stop this portal, because what happens by the end of the movie is that the portal that is there, basically, the kaijus are going to come out quicker. And it's one of the doctors who basically figures this out, because he like links up with like a brain of a kaiju, and he sees that they're basically from another world, and that pretty soon they're going to be coming like every 30 seconds or something like that. I don't remember. I think it's less than a minute. And the fact that they're having so much trouble with them coming out as frequently as they are basically means the spell's doomed for the end of the world. Now, basically the way they figure out they can take this out is that the pilots of Gypsy Danger basically go into the portal to this other world. The co-pilot, or the main pilot, or I guess they're both co-pilots, but the girl, she gets ejected out of it by the other co-pilot to save her life. So he sends Gypsy Danger down there, and Gypsy Danger's like, she's an older model, or it's an older model. I don't care how you want to say it. I'm gonna say it, but it runs on like, I don't remember, but like it's nuclear powered, I guess I should say. I could be wrong, they all could be, but I believe this one was nuclear powered, the others were different. So this would cause a massive explosion, and so he realizes that the only way to do it is to go down with Gypsy Danger, because he can't eject or something like that, or it need to be activated manually, if I remember correctly, because this is something that went wrong. So basically he goes down there with it and blows, he basically kills everything that's down there. And of course, since this is another world, that leaves it open for the sequel that Guillermo del Toro wants to do. And he still survives because he ejects at the last second, because, you know, the whole plot needs him to live, basically. And that's pretty much where it ends, is where they're both still alive. And I'll have to say that even though I'm glad that they survived, because it's like, I somewhat like these characters, I still mostly hate a lot of them. At least the main two characters, because, I don't know, they didn't seem to work together. I don't know, maybe it's just the acting, maybe it's the acting seemed too stale, I don't know. Those two just did not seem to work together, or with anyone else in the movie. And that was sad. I wish it was maybe some other characters, like maybe it's the dad and his kid that were the main characters. I liked them, but I don't know, the main character and the girl, they just didn't really seem to, their acting wasn't the best. It was pretty bad. It was kind of like Godzilla, but for anyone who's watched any Godzilla movies, the human aspect of it's never really that great. Especially the new one. But in Pacific Rim, it just really, I think the acting could have been better. I think that's what really took it down for me in this. While the action and everything was great, probably some of the best I've ever seen, and visually I liked it. Probably what I liked most is that you could hear like GLaDOS in it. I thought that was amazing. But I don't know, this, if you ask me what was the major drawback of this movie, I would say it was probably the acting and the fact that it's just a fun monster movie. Let me rephrase that, because I basically said that wrong. The good part of this is it's a fun monster movie. The bad part of this is that the acting from the main characters is probably some of the worst I've ever seen. Nowhere near as bad as what it was with the new Godzilla from the human aspect, but still, I had my parents watch this, and I think really what my mom didn't like was the main character's acting, and it wasn't that good. And so that really hurts this movie, because you don't have to really connect with main characters as it is with a video game, but you have to find the main characters fun to watch. And a lot that goes with them being fun to watch is like scenes where like they'll deal with another character because, you know, of course they have to talk, but their acting really helps if it's good. And this, it didn't really help. It really, for the most part, hurt it. And I would probably, if it was me, it's a fun movie, I'd probably give like an 8 out of 10 because I enjoy watching the fights in it. But the acting takes it down, so it puts it at that 8. But I don't know. That was my opinions on it. Tell me what you thought. What was your favorite, you know, monster movie or mech movie, or mech versus monster movie if there is one? But that's basically all of this. Leave the comments, you know, down below. You know, the only spot that you possibly could put a comment if you're replying to this video. So I don't really think I need to tell that to you. Another awkward video. Anyways, I will see you guys